Welcome. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Trash. It's all trash. Just throw it all away. Who cares? We won't see it when it's all gone. That is what almost everyone thinks. If you think this way, you are wrong and should be ashamed of yourself. Have you ever wondered what our world would be like with no trash, no pollution? We wouldn't have to worry about all the smog in the air. We wouldn't have to worry about getting sick. We would have much more land and our health would really benefit from it. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, it can be possible if we would all recycle. Recycling would increase the purity of our environment and help us all in many other ways. Like I just mentioned, it is possible and well worth the effort. I'm going to explain to you why we should recycle, how to recycle, and the problems that become due to the amount of garbage that we throw out every single day. Okay, let's just be honest. We all know that recycling is a good idea. And we all know that it should be done. It's kind of like that last piece of cake that we all want and we know we shouldn't do it, but we do it anyways. I get it. Sometimes it's easier to go against what we believe in and go what we feel is more easier at the moment. So why should we recycle? I will tell you why. Because recycling saves energy. When something is recycled, energy is saved. Subportal.com shows that when recycling aluminum cans, we save 90% of the energy required to make the amount of aluminum from its natural source, bauxite. 1 ton of aluminum can conserve more than 207 million BTUs, which is the equivalent of 36 barrels of oil. To put this into an easier perspective, 1 recycled aluminum can saves enough energy to power a 100-watt light bulb for 4 hours, or your TV for 3 hours. That is a lot of energy being saved by simply throwing your empty soda can or beer can into a recycle bin. It is that easy, folks. As we save energy, we also preserve our resources. Trees are one of the main resources that is being overused to create new materials. By recycling paper, such as an empty pizza box, you can help save millions of trees each year. Another resource that we use every day, which we have all seen increase a great amount over the last few years, is oil. Oil is used to burn the garbage down. If you would recycle this source, would be preserved greatly. Studies show that 1 ton of plastic recycled will save you 16.3 barrels of oil. 1 ton may seem like a lot, but when you think of the amount of people on this planet, that is nothing. So don't throw your empty milk jug in the trash. Recycle it. Saving energy and resources is great, but the one thing that recycling will help is build a better future for your children. As a parent, all I wish is for a better future for my children, and I'm sure you all feel the same way. With more recycling, the earth will be much more cleaner for them, and not so polluted with all the toxins. Our children will have cheaper products as recycling makes production costs decrease. Going back to the oil, if we recycle, there will be much more oil available in the future. And our children won't have to worry about spending half their paychecks filling up their car with gas. Speaking of paychecks, as recycling plants are opened up, recycling creates many jobs that will be available for our children in the future. One of the most important things that will benefit our children if we all recycle is the amount of land that will be saved. So many landfills are being used every day to store and burn all these garbages. We can eliminate these landfills if we just recycle. This would allow more land to be utilized for much more useful things like parks and housing for our children. Okay, so now that we are all recyclers, not sure if that's a word, but it sounds good. Let me help you out and tell you how to recycle. First of all, let me start by telling you what kinds of things can be recycled. Aluminum cans, plastics, and cardboards are all things that are very well recyclable. This includes things like plastic milk cartons, empty cereal boxes, and of course your empty beer cans. By recycling those, I know some of you all would really be helping out. I know I would. You are not alone when it comes to recycling. Your local waste management is there to help you make recycling easier. I know here in San Antonio, if you call 311, you can request a recycle bin delivered directly to your house. Also, the city does provide a weekly pickup designated strictly for recyclables. I'm sure all of you have seen the blue bins around town. Those are used to recycle. It is not hard to recycle. And there are some steps that you can do to make it even easier for you. One thing that I find makes it super easy is placing a recycle bin right next to your trash. This way you can when you go throw something in the trash, you have the option to throw it in the recycle bin or dump in the garbage, depending what it is. It makes it very simple and is really convenient for you. It also stands as a reminder to you and your family to recycle. When you finish the milk and have an empty plastic in your hand, if there is no recycle bin there, you'll probably just throw it into the garbage, because that's the easiest thing to do. Put the recycle bin there, and now you remember to throw it into the recycle bin so that it can be recycled. Recycling needs to be something that you encourage your family as well, not just something you do alone. Remind them to recycle. Make it something that is done naturally. 60% to 70% of all home waste can be recycled. Make it a habit, especially for young ones. If you teach them when they are young, they will not know any other way. If you still feel like recycling is not for you, let me tell you what kind of harm comes from not recycling. One of the main things is environmental contamination. It is caused by people who do not recycle. All the trash that they throw out is harmful to the environment. Like I mentioned before, we're running out of space to dump the garbage and have to use more and more land that becomes contaminated with garbage every single day. This is causing the earth's soil to become contaminated. This contaminated soil is what we use to plant our crops. Do you want to eat a carrot that has been grown in contaminated ground to dump trash? Of course not, but that is the reality of dumping garbage. The water we drink also becomes contaminated, and as we are dumping things into the ocean to get rid of some of the waste, recycling glass can reduce water pollution by as much as 50%. I don't know about you, but I would much rather drink cleaner water than dirty water. Burning trash releases carbon dioxide into the air, the same air that we inhale every time we take a breath. Every breath of carbon dioxide that we breathe in is damaging our lungs and more every day. Our ozone is also being affected by garbage as we burn it. Now you can see why recycling is a good idea. You need to go out and begin recycling. As I have been saying, it is the best thing we can do to preserve our world. You do not have any excuses not to recycle. I have explained to you how to recycle and where you can get help. If you are still unsure, you know why recycling is important, and most importantly, you know what harmful things come from, the trash that we dump out every single day. So together we can make this world a better place to live in. It is very well worth the effort. Encourage your friends and family to recycle. Go out there, make a difference. Remember, trash is trash, but much of it can be recycled. Do not be lazy. Your efforts make a brighter future for everyone. I have printed out some reminders for you all to look at, some stats of recycling and how it can help you. I'm going to pass these out so y'all can look at them. Okay, and I thank you all for coming to this speech. I hope you all have learned about recycling and hope you can take this and use it. It's a great thing to do. Thank you.